The Sultan of Brunei has made a groundbreaking statement, placing Prince Mateen and Anisha Rosnah at the heart of a growing scandal. Known for his strict and traditional reign, the Sultan's sudden announcement casts doubt on the stability of the royal couple and exposes deeper fractures within Brunei's most protected circles. Between complex family expectations and the Sultan's controversial lifestyle, Mateen and Anisha now face a challenge that could redefine their future, and that of the royal dynasty. Brunei's royal family is one of the richest and most traditional dynasties in the world. They live under the firm rule of Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah, an absolute leader whose authority far exceeds that of a typical monarch. His influence extends not only to national politics, but also deeply into the personal and family decisions of his relatives. As the ultimate arbiter of marriages, family values, and traditions, the Sultan shapes the cultural image of Brunei's royalty. Nothing escapes his control, not even decisions that might seem deeply personal. With a fortune estimated in the billions, largely derived from the country's vast oil and gas reserves, the Sultan embodies far more than a symbolic leader. His opulent lifestyle, highlighted by his palace, Istana Nurul Aman, the largest private residence in the world with over 1,700 rooms and a fleet of luxury vehicles, cements his image as both a guarantor of Brunei's prosperity and stability. The Sultan imposes strict standards on his family, rooted in a rigid interpretation of Islamic law, Sharia. These rules govern many aspects of daily life in Brunei, including morality and public conduct. For the royal family, these are not mere guidelines. They are seen as a model for the entire nation to follow. Any deviation, however minor, can spark public criticism, or worse, disapproval from the Sultan. However, the Sultan's personal life introduces an intriguing paradox. While he upholds strict Islamic values, his family history is marked by multiple marriages, divorces, and a controversial harem. This contradiction between his religious ideals and personal choices casts a shadow over the royal image. As representatives of the new royal generation, Prince Mateen and Anisha Rosnah embody a modern image that captures attention both in Brunei and internationally. Prince Mateen, with his charisma and social media popularity, has become something of a celebrity prince. Meanwhile, Anisha, with her Western-style elegance and entrepreneurial spirit, appeals to a global audience. However, this modern image often clashes with the traditional expectations imposed by the Sultan. For Anisha, the pressures are immense. She must navigate not only the demands of her husband, but also the scrutiny of her powerful father-in-law. The Sultan's recent declaration has placed Mateen and Anisha at a critical crossroads. He has clearly outlined expectations that could redefine their roles within the royal family. This message extends beyond the couple. It reinforces the Sultan's unyielding control over the royal legacy. Prince Mateen, born Abdul Mateen, has been at the center of hopes for the monarchy's future. From an early age, he was groomed for a life of duty under his father's watchful eye. Trained in strict Islamic values and disciplined rigor, Mateen attended the prestigious Royal Military Academy Sandhurst in the UK, a rite of passage for many young royals. This experience strengthened his public image as a disciplined and devoted leader. His commitment to Brunei's traditions, combined with his ability to connect with a modern audience, makes him a unique figure. With a strong presence on Instagram, where he shares glimpses of his life, from equestrian events to charity work, Mateen has successfully forged a bond with younger generations while remaining true to his country's values. As Prince Mateen and Anisha Rosnah face an uncertain future, their relationship and choices will shape not only their destiny but also that of the entire royal family. Under the Sultan's vigilant gaze, the couple must strike a balance between tradition and modernity, between familial expectations and personal aspirations. Their union has brought a fresh dynamic to the royal family, blending traditional values with contemporary lifestyles. However, this public interest has also brought its share of challenges. As they navigate heightened scrutiny, the choices they make will continue to redefine their roles within the monarchy and Brunei itself. Anisha Rosnah's entry into Brunei's royal family marked a significant turning point. Her journey and lifestyle introduced a modern element into a monarchy steeped in conservatism. Born and raised outside the intense spotlight of Brunei's royal court, Anisha's life before marrying Prince Mateen was characterized by independence and ambition. Known for her entrepreneurial spirit, a rare quality in Brunei's royal circles. She embodies a Western-influenced education and worldview. Marrying into the Bruneian royal family meant Anisha had to adapt to a major transformation, moving from a relatively private life to one of intense scrutiny and formality. Her family, well respected in Bruneian society, played a key role in connecting her with the prince. However, her lifestyle before the marriage was distinctly more progressive. Educated abroad, she gained an international perspective, exposed to diverse cultures and ideas that shaped her open and modern approach to life. Anisha's entrepreneurial ambitions in fashion and business further distinguish her from the traditional roles expected of women in Brunei's royal family. Fashion, in particular, remains a central aspect of her public identity. With her taste for elegant yet contemporary styles, she has become a fashion icon and a source of inspiration within Bruneian society. Her wardrobe choices reflect a delicate balance between modern influences and royal expectations. Yet, this balance has not been without challenges. While younger generations in Brunei admire her bold style as a breath of fresh air, more conservative royal circles criticize her choices as a deviation from the modest attire traditionally associated with the royal family. Public perception of Anisha is complex. On one hand, her confidence, style, and business acumen have earned her growing popularity among those who view her as a symbol of change. Brunei's youth, in particular, see her as a reflection of evolving perspectives on identity and lifestyle. Her active presence on social media amplifies her appeal to this demographic. However, this visibility contrasts sharply with the reserved image traditionally associated with Brunei's royalty, making Anisha a fascinating figure who challenges and redefines expectations for a royal spouse. Her modernity has also drawn heightened scrutiny. The deeply traditional structure of the royal family leaves little room for deviation, and Anisha's Western-influenced lifestyle stands out in a family that values principles rooted in Brunei's Islamic culture and heritage. Since her marriage to Prince Mateen, she has faced criticism from those who question whether her lifestyle aligns with the conservative ideals of the royal family. From her entrepreneurial ventures to public appearances and collaborations with international brands, every move is closely watched. For some, her openness to the world seems at odds with the values of modesty and restraint cherished in Brunei's culture. Her relationship with Prince Mateen has only intensified the spotlight on her. For Mateen, Anisha's presence symbolizes progress, but for the Sultan, she represents a challenge. How to uphold the royal family's values while accommodating a modern influence. Anisha's ability to adapt will be crucial to her future in the royal family. The Sultan's recent statement serves as a reminder to her and Mateen of the fine line they must tread between tradition and modernity. The Sultan of Brunei's harem remains one of the most striking and controversial aspects of royal customs in the country. Over the years, Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah's relationships have made headlines not only for their opulence but also for the traditional, albeit contested, structure that supports them. His harem, comprising multiple wives, former wives, and concubines, reflects an ancestral practice tied to certain royal and Islamic traditions. However, this practice diverges from the image of a modern monarchy that Brunei's younger generation, embodied by figures like Prince Mateen and Anisha, seeks to project. In Islamic tradition, polygamy is permitted under certain conditions, allowing men to have multiple wives as long as they treat them all equally. Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah has historically embraced a lifestyle that incorporates this tradition. Over the years, he has married multiple times and maintained relationships that have drawn reactions both nationally and internationally. The Sultan's history with his multiple wives began early in his reign, and his relationships have often been marked by dramatic changes and upheavals within the royal household hierarchy. His first marriage was to Queen Sulia, who holds the title of Raja Isteri, or First Queen, a status that makes her the most prominent of his wives. However, the Sultan's marital life became more complex when he took additional wives, notably Mariam Abdulaziz, a former flight attendant whom he married in 1982. Mariam became a well-known figure, often appearing at official events alongside the Sultan, adding a new dimension to his image as a leader who was both traditional and progressive. However, their relationship ended in 2003, when the Sultan divorced her, a decision that sent shockwaves through Brunei's tightly closed royal circles. Although the marriage to Mariam drew significant media attention, it was not the only relationship to spark interest. Over the years, the Sultan has maintained relationships with several other women. Unlike official wives, these women often reside in luxury under the Sultan's protection but hold no official titles or public recognition. This arrangement has allowed the Sultan to maintain a degree of discretion, although the influence of these women within the palace has often fueled speculation and intrigue. The stories surrounding the Sultan's harem have triggered scandals that reveal a world far removed from the conservative image he publicly promotes. Among the most sensational accounts are allegations from former members of the harem claiming they were brought in under false pretenses or even coerced into relationships with the Sultan or other influential figures in his circle. One particularly high-profile case involved Shannon Marketic, a former Miss USA, who filed a lawsuit in 1997 against the Sultan and his brother, Prince Jeffrey. She accused them of luring her to Brunei under the pretext of a public relations job. Once there, she claimed she was trapped in what she described as a virtual prison of forced intimacy and lavish yet unsettling parties. While the case was ultimately dismissed due to diplomatic immunity, it exposed the Sultan's palace life to public scrutiny, tarnishing his carefully curated image. While older generations in Brunei view the Sultan's lifestyle as part of his sovereign rights, younger Bruneians, increasingly exposed to global perspectives on gender and relationships, see his harem with ambivalence. This divide between tradition and modernity poses a unique challenge for figures like Prince Mateen, who, as the Sultan's son, must navigate public expectations shaped by his father's legacy. As Mateen works to establish his own identity, his father's personal choices create a distinct pressure. Anisha Rosnah, too, is affected by this legacy. Joining a family where traditional gender roles are amplified by the Sultan's relational structure, she faces the challenge of adapting to a lifestyle steeped in customs that differ from her Western-influenced upbringing. Her marriage to Mateen marks a significant departure from the Sultan's relationships, as she and Mateen present a united, monogamous front, a modern contrast to the Sultan's polygamous arrangements. The Sultan's harem also influences how the royal family is perceived on the global stage. While Brunei's royal customs are respected domestically, the international community often views these relationships through a different lens. Western media, in particular, has portrayed the Sultan's harem as emblematic of an anachronistic opulence, a complex cultural legacy that Brunei's royal family must reconcile. How Mateen and Anisha address this legacy will play a crucial role in shaping the future image of Brunei's royal family. Anisha's past relationships have been a constant subject of public interest and media coverage. Before her marriage to Prince Mateen, Anisha's life was relatively private, though she was known for her social connections and modern approach to relationships. However, upon joining the royal family, her previous associations and relationships came under scrutiny. For a monarchy that values moral integrity and conservative ideals, these revelations have proven to be a sensitive issue. The Sultan's emphasis on upholding traditional family values means that Anisha's past, though fairly typical for someone of her background, did not entirely align with Brunei's expectations of royal decorum. Social media has also played a significant role in fueling controversies surrounding Anisha's integration into the royal family, while Prince Mateen himself enjoys widespread popularity on platforms like Instagram. Anisha's presence on social media has taken on a complex dimension. Before her marriage, her posts showcased her personal style, social outings, and entrepreneurial activities, projecting the image of a modern, progressive woman. However, after joining the royal family, this online presence became a source of debate. Critics, particularly within conservative circles, argue that her posts contrast with the more reserved and modest image expected of Brunei's royalty. They see her openness as a potential risk to the royal family's reputation. As a result, Anisha has had to strike a delicate balance within the royal circle. These tensions reflect a broader concern about Anisha's ability to adapt to the expectations of her role. Adjusting to the conservative norms of Brunei's royalty is no easy task. Sources close to the royal family claim that while Mateen supports Anisha's individuality, not all family members share his enthusiasm for her modern outlook. This division has created friction within the family, especially as the Sultan remains committed to maintaining the royal family's image as a model of Brunei's values. Anisha's distinct approach raises questions about her ability to fully embody the ideals the Sultan has worked to preserve. These concerns place Mateen in a challenging position. While he remains loyal to his father and respects Brunei's traditions, he is also deeply devoted to Anisha. This tension has intensified with rumors suggesting that Mateen's popularity and the couple's progressive image may not fully align with the Sultan's vision for the royal family. This has fueled speculation about how Mateen's modern approach might impact his standing within the royal circle. A recent statement by the Sultan, widely interpreted as a subtle but clear warning, has heightened these tensions. By publicly reaffirming his commitment to traditional values, the Sultan implicitly underscored the challenges posed by Mateen and Anisha's lifestyle. While he did not directly mention his son or daughter-in-law, the timing of his statement suggests that recent controversies and public debates surrounding Anisha's background influenced his decision to speak out. This declaration has added further pressure on Mateen and Anisha. The Sultan's statement marks a major turning point, especially since he rarely speaks about family matters. This intervention shocked the royal family and fueled speculation about potential changes to the long-standing traditions of Brunei's royal hierarchy. Many within the royal circle view his words as a stern reminder of the family's duty to uphold conservative values, emphasizing that he will not tolerate any deviation from the moral standards he has championed throughout his reign. Although the Sultan did not provide specific details, his words seem to echo recent controversies surrounding Mateen and Anisha. Their modern lifestyle and Anisha's Western influence have sparked reactions within Brunei's more traditional factions. It now appears that the Sultan intends to curb behaviors or attitudes he deems incompatible with Bruneian customs. His use of the phrase, "This is over. We can no longer tolerate it," is perceived as a strong call to end certain practices or attitudes that, in his view, threaten the sanctity of the royal family's image. For many, these words suggest a desire to realign the family with its core values, potentially through stricter protocols that would reduce the flexibility Mateen and Anisha have enjoyed so far. Now, Prince Mateen finds himself under increased scrutiny, and his future within the royal circle may depend on how he and Anisha navigate these challenges. Anisha's close relationship with Mateen has helped modernize the royal family's image, but this shift may clash with the Sultan's vision for Brunei. For Anisha, the Sultan's words carry significant implications. As a newcomer to the family, she has brought a different perspective and lifestyle that has both intrigued and unsettled the Bruneian public. The Sultan's statement can be interpreted as a subtle invitation for Anisha to adjust her approach, highlighting that her role as Mateen's wife comes with a strict obligation to adhere to royal protocol. While she has already made efforts to adapt to her new life, the Sultan's declaration underscores that any deviation from tradition may face resistance. How Mateen and Anisha respond to this call, whether through further adjustments or quiet resistance, will undoubtedly shape the evolving image of Brunei's royal family on the global stage. For Mateen and Anisha, the Sultan's mandate indicates that despite their popularity and appeal as global figures, they must proceed cautiously to remain aligned with long-standing royal traditions. The Sultan's legacy rests on a commitment to preserving Bruneian identity. His statement has set a standard that Mateen and Anisha must now navigate, a standard that values discretion, modesty, and adherence to traditions. Mateen faces the challenge of adapting his public role to align with the Sultan's vision while retaining the qualities that have made him popular with a global audience. Similarly, Anisha may need to adjust certain aspects of her Western-influenced lifestyle to safeguard the royal family's image in Brunei. For Mateen, the road ahead may require a shift toward a more reserved public persona. His appeal as a modern royal has bolstered his status in Brunei and beyond, but the Sultan's statement suggests that greater alignment with traditional royal duties may be necessary to secure his position within the family. His challenge will be to honor his father's wishes without sacrificing the qualities that make him an admired and effective representative of the monarchy. As he takes on more responsibilities, his ability to embody both Bruneian values and a forward-looking vision will play a crucial role in shaping public perceptions of the monarchy's future. Anisha's role will likely evolve in response to the Sultan's expectations. Her individuality and style have brought a fresh dimension to the royal family, but with the Sultan's clear call to honor traditions, she may find herself taking on a more symbolic position, one that emphasizes support and modesty over public engagement. The Sultan's statement raises a broader question. How will Brunei's royal family adapt to a rapidly changing world? Brunei's younger generations are increasingly exposed to global influences, And the journey of Mateen and Anisha will be seen as a reflection of the family's ability to balance tradition and modernity. Their success in meeting these challenges could shape how the family continues to connect with the Bruneian people and the global community. Above all, their ability to succeed may determine whether they can establish a legacy that preserves Brunei's heritage while embracing the possibilities of a modern future. Ultimately, the path forward for Mateen and Anisha is no longer just about their personal choices, but about preserving the Sultan's legacy. What do you think? Do you believe it's possible to reconcile the Sultan's traditional values with Mateen and Anisha's modern vision? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. That's all for today. See you in the next video.